Hi guys, how's everybody doing? Hope y'all had a nice weekend. I had a very long weekend. My birthday was on Thursday, and it seems like that's kind of kicked off the weekend, and we really didn't celebrate it with our family until last night, until Sunday, because there was so much going on this weekend. My grandson's graduating from high school, and he's in the marching band, and his band was part of Fiesta, Texas. I don't know if y'all have ever been to Fiesta time in San Antonio. It's a crazy time. Don't come at that time. It's crazy. The streets are blocked off. Everything's. But he was marching in the night parade. It's called the Flambeau Parade. It's really pretty. There's a bunch of floats that are all lit up, and it's really beautiful and nice, but it's just crazy time to go downtown. They've got a lot of streets blocked off, a lot of constructions going on downtown San Antonio. And we went there on Saturday to watch him in the parade. And I said, well, let's get there really, really early because, you never know. The streets might be blocked off. We might have a hard time finding parking. So we left the house like by 4:30, and the parade doesn't start till like 7:30. And it's only like a 30-minute drive from our house to downtown San Antonio. So we drive down there, and we actually had the other grandmother, my grandson's other grandmother, my ex-son-in-law. She came with us. We picked her up, and she came with us. So it was a little family thing, get together. We had our other grandson with us too. And my husband parked at the first place that he came to. So when we tried to get off on our street to get off on the freeway, it was blocked. Couldn't get off on that. So he went down a little ways and got off the freeway. And he parked at the first place he came to, which was 2 miles from our seats. 2 miles. So here's grandma's walking down San Antonio. I've got it on my phone. So, and I have it on walk on my phone, the GPS. So I know where I'm going. I know where the seats are. And the whole way my husband's going, I don't think we're going in the right direction. This isn't the right direction the whole way. And I'm like, just shut up and keep walking. And I led us straight to the seats. So we got to our seats. We were there 2 hours before it even started. So we got a little something to eat and sat down and just waited for the parade. The parade was really nice. And the marching band, Piper Marching Band, that's what he's in, didn't come till the very, very end. It was a over 3 hour parade, 3 hours. And by the time they came, they were exhausted. And this was where all the parents were gathered at. This was all the seats for the parents from that high school. They didn't even play. They just rushed by. They walked by so fast. Because like I said, they were like one of the very last bands. And they just rushed by without playing or nothing. And we barely even got them on camera because they rushed by so quickly. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this was a 5 hour odyssey for them just to rush by and not even play. It was unbelievable. So yeah, that's what we did we got home around midnight. Yeah, we had to walk back and find our car, and we had a little bit of trouble doing that because we didn't we didn't know exactly the address of the parking lot because it wasn't a real parking lot. It was somebody that they started selling parking places, but it wasn't a normal parking lot. We knew where we had parked, we knew what the streets were, but we didn't have a physical address. And evidently there's a way to ping it, but I didn't know that. I could have pinged it on my phone and then made our way back there. My daughter's like, you could have done this, you could have done that. And I'm like, well, I wish you would have told me that because I asked you to come with us and, you could have given me that information. I'm old school. I didn't know how to do that. I still don't know how to do that, but she said you can ping it on your phone. So it was a fiasco. It took us a little time to find the car, but we found it. And yeah, it was a 2 mile walk back to the car, and we were exhausted. get there around 11:30, so we get home at 12 o'clock at night. Long, long day, long day. So I won't be going to a flambeau parade anytime soon, for sure. Maybe I'm pretty sure that's the last time I want to go down to Fiesta. That was way too much Fiesta for me. Anyway, that's what we've been doing. On my birthday, my husband took me out for lunch. We were fixing to leave to go to lunch, and it's been raining here. It's raining today. It's really cool. It's 65 degrees here. It is so cool and so nice. But it was about to rain on Thursday, and my cat was outside, and we were leaving. And I said, no, we got to get the cat in before we leave. So I'm looking for the cat. I'm fixated on this cat. She's really afraid of the thunder, and it started thundering, and I thought she was probably under the deck, and I needed to get her out before we left. So here I am. I have a light because it's dark under the deck. I'm going to look under the deck. I go down the stairs of our deck, and my husband has put cinder blocks. I don't know why, but he put a couple of cinder blocks at the very last step. And I'm fixated on the cat. And I stepped onto that cinder block and it just flipped. And yep, I fell down. I busted my butt so hard, y'all. I landed on my elbow and on my butt. I have a bruise like this big on my butt. I have a bruise on my back. My elbow's all scraped up. I felt it when I hit my elbow. I felt it jar all the way to my shoulder. And I just was like laying there. It happened so fast. You know, this is weird, but you know how you can manifest things? And I feel like I really manifested this because when I took my husband to the hospital, when he felt like he might be having a stroke, there was a lady there, an older lady. She was probably in her 70s. She had a huge gash on her knee. I mean, we were in this big room with all these chairs. So I guess they put people back there that they don't think they're in bad shape. So I knew that my husband was okay because they put us back in this room with all these people. But this lady, I mean, she had a gash this big. You could see down to her knee. It was horrible looking. And I was like, I had to talk to her. I'm like, what happened? And she was walking. She said, I walk every day. And I was walking, and she tripped over the curb and fell and hit her knee, and it just split open. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she says, I walk every day, you know. She's trying to get exercise and stay fit and healthy every day, and this is what happens. And I had just kept thinking about that lady. I could not quit thinking about that lady that, you know, here she is trying to be fit, trying to be healthy, and she's busted her butt and changed everything, and she's getting stitches. And I mean, it was a huge cut. It was huge. It looked terrible. I can't believe that her skin parted like that. But she said they were little cobblestones. She said the street that she lives on are little stone streets, instead of being asphalt, they're little. And so she hit one of those little stones and it just tore her skin open. Awful, terrible. But I could not quit thinking about her. I kept thinking, gosh, just one second can change your life. She could have broke her hip or anything. And when you get older, you have to always worry about and think about what you're doing all the time and be super careful. And I mean, I just thought about that lady all week long, and that happened at the beginning of the week. And then here it was Thursday, and I've been thinking, I have thought about that lady, and then I just busted my butt. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And when I was laying there, I just started laughing. I mean, I was in pain. It hurt, yes. But I started laughing. Johnny was trying to pick me up, and he's trying to pull this arm. And this, I hurt my whole arm. And he's like trying to yank me by my arm. And I'm like, wait. Don't pull my arm. Don't pull it. There might be something wrong. Don't pull it. And I said, I can get myself up. I can get up. But I was laughing. And my husband always says, you always laugh inappropriately. If somebody falls down, you laugh. Even when you fall down, you laugh. But it was funny. It was, I wish we would have had a video of it. It's funny. I fell down. So anyway, got a big old bruise on my butt. And that was My birthday celebration, and then we celebrated it yesterday. So the kids came over and we had my husband made dinner. Thank goodness I didn't have to cook. I told my husband last week, I said, you know, it would be a really good birthday present if I didn't have to cook for a week. That would be great. I think that's what I want for my birthday. Is not have to cook for a whole week. So he tried to cook almost every day. I really haven't cooked in many, many days. So I don't know if it's been a whole week, but he said, Monday, it's over. Your birthday is over. So I'll be cooking today for sure. Anyway, I know this was long, and I'm sorry if y'all are new here and you're listening to me and you're like, oh my God, this lady's talking way too much. Sorry about that. So, what I really wanted to talk to y'all about is the Supreme Court. And you know, we're just all waiting and wondering, is the Supreme Court, are they going to save our Constitution? Are they going to back up Trump? Because, you know, they anointed him and made him king. Are they sorry for what they've done? Are they anxious? Are they watching him? What's going on? Now, we know that some of them are loyalists to Trump and some of them aren't. Um, we know some are appointed by Republicans and some are Democrats. And we know who they all are, right? But are things changing now with the Supreme Court because all the things that Trump is doing? He's a he is on fire. This man is crazy. He's saying all kinds of crazy things, and I really think that he just likes to um, make people feel pressure and worry about everything. He's just throwing everything out there, whatever will stick to the wall, you know, like throwing spaghetti. And that's just what Trump is doing. But what I really want to know is how the justices, the Supreme Court justices, are feeling about Trump now. Even if they've supported him in the past and maybe they still do support him. So I'm just getting in touch with Spirit and asking, you know, let's go with Justice Roberts. How does Justice Roberts feel about Trump? And what I'm getting with this is, at first, I think he was just feeling he's saying he's a pain in the neck. That's how he was feeling about Trump. You know, he's just a pain in the neck. But he's witnessed this transformation with Trump, watching Trump gather more and more strength, and I think, you know, just taking advantage of his position, and he's turned into a monster. And Justice Roberts is well aware of the court's role in this, that they really, you know, anointed him and said, you're the king, you can do anything you want. He really feels like they had a big part in that, and of course they did. And what's going to happen is that all these things that Trump has done that are illegal, you know, like firing government employees, deporting people without due process, all the tariffs, going after journalists, going after law firms and universities. All of this is being documented. And it's being documented. The Supreme Court is watching it. So I mean, they're very aware of everything that Trump is doing. But there's somebody behind the scenes documenting all of this and watching what's going on. I feel like there's some spies in Trump's camp. So they're going to turn on Trump. They're going to help take him down. And then there's going to be this showdown between the Supreme Court and Donald Trump. That's what I'm getting. Justice Thomas, Clarence Thomas. So he's 76 years old. And it's kind of weird with him because this is weird, but this is exactly what I'm getting. He goes with whichever way the wind blows, which is weird because I mean, I know he's had strong opinions, and of course he does. He actually does think that Trump is a dirty, rotten scoundrel. He does believe that, but it's the way of the world. It's what the United States wants. They voted for Trump, and that's what they want to be. Um, I don't know. What is it that he's saying? He's saying that he accepts this change, that Donald Trump wants to be a king and the people want to be ruled. The majority of the people want to be ruled. Now, you and I don't want to be ruled, and we don't think anybody really does want to be ruled, but he's just, he's like saying the winds are blowing that away, and that's just the change that's inevitable. This change is coming. That's what his mindset. This is what's coming. And, he's just going with the flow, basically. So he will definitely back up Trump, even though he knows that Trump is dirty. Even even though it's like he don't care. That's what the people wanted it. That's what they get. So yeah, he could care less about our Constitution. I don't think he cares about it. I really don't. Justice Alito, Mr. Flaggate himself. So I get the feeling, this feeling that he's giving me, he's showing me is that he sees Trump as a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's a snake and he'll bite the hand that feeds. He's very, very wary of Trump. He does want to rein Trump in and limit his powers while looking like he's still supporting him. So I guess he doesn't want to like impeach him or get rid of him. He just wants to limit his powers and just say, I'm still for you, Trump, but can't do that. Which we know that doesn't really work with Trump, but that's where his mindset is right now. Okay. Justice Sonia Sotomayor. This is kind of funny. So she says, this is what I'm being shown. She says Trump needs to be pruned and that all the weeds need to be dug out and cast aside. So y'all know what that means, right? Justice Elena Kagan. I don't know why she's fixated on this. Maybe y'all have heard something. I haven't. I don't know. But she keeps showing me a Trump meme coin. Something about insider trading. She's really fixated on insider trading. So I know that Trump said anybody that buys a meme coin gets access to the White House. I remember him saying something like that. And, the laws are designed to make sure that Trump doesn't personally benefit from being the president and, like saying, come to the White House and we'll, he can't benefit personally, but he's doing that. And he's been manipulating the markets to benefit his wealthy investors, donors, or whatever, and himself and his family. So she's fixated on that. Now, I know there's so many other things to be fixated on, but for some reason, I don't know if she's got some insider information, somebody talking to her or something. She's really fixated on that. I don't know why. That's what I'm getting, okay? So, maybe y'all know something I don't. comment down below and let me know if y'all have heard anything about, you know, anything about that going on. Justice Gorsuch. Hmm. Okay, so he's kind of evilish, I would say. He's got some really dark, dark thoughts surrounding Trump, and they're all illegal, and I'm not going to be speaking them. Okay, so so enough said. He's got some really, really dark thoughts about Trump. I don't think that he wants to back Trump up and prop him up. So he's yeah. Justice Kavanaugh, Brett Kavanaugh. He's like he's still kind of like open-minded. Like, can't somebody just talk to Trump? Can't they talk some sense into him? Can't they tell him to knock it off? Like that's so, yeah, right. Like that's going to solve anything. Do you not know who Trump is? He doesn't like what Trump's doing, but he's not really ready to give up on him. I mean, I don't know what does he have to do to make him get his attention and say that's enough. He's not there yet. He's not at the place where he's like, I'm done with Trump. I'm at the end of my rope. He's not there yet. He thinks that Trump can still be salvaged, which is scary. And then we have Amy Coney Barrett, right? Justice Barrett. And she's come around for sure. So this is what I'm getting from her. She has such disdain for Trump. Whenever she hears his name, her nostrils flare, you know. It's just disdain. I don't think she likes him at all. She thinks he's completely out of control. She doesn't like him. Even though, he appointed her and all that, she don't like him. She absolutely doesn't like him. Okay, Justice Jackson, Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's been pretty outspoken about Trump. I know that. And of course, we can count on her doing her part and trying to control Trump. But she's actually worried about the people that are around Trump. She's like, it's not all about Trump. We can control Trump, but there's people around him. Because Donald Trump, he's not smart enough to have done all this damage by himself. It's the people around him. So she's really thinking about those people around him and that they need to be controlled too. Because if the legislative branch won't do their job, then they haven't. And then there's the judicial branch, and the courts have been making rulings, but Donald Trump is just thumbing his nose at them. She knows that it's up to the Supreme Court to stop Donald Trump. She knows that. But there's other people around him that need to be stopped too, and she knows that. So I feel like what's going to happen is, yes, they will be able to stop Donald Trump. They're going to be able to secure the United States Constitution. That's what I'm getting. And it's going to happen this summer. It's going to happen months from now, maybe late summer, but it's going to happen this summer. Okay? So yeah, we can count on the Supreme Court, even though some of them do favor Trump and are still thinking, that his presidency and him is salvageable. They are going to save us. They're going to save the Constitution. They're not going to just vote in favor of Trump doing all these things that he wants to do. They're not going to allow it. So, And that all has to come to a head. It has to be brought before them. So all things have to be filed and brought before them, and so that they can rule on it. And I think that's what's going to happen. All this stuff that's Trump, all these executive orders, all these things that he's done, it's going to come to a head and it's going to be brought before them. Then they're going to rule on it and they're going to say Trump is not the king. Sorry, we even said that. So yeah, yeah. So gonna happen in the summertime, I think, you guys. So just hold on. Everything's gonna be okay. The Supreme Court, they've let us down several times. I understand that. I know that. But when it comes to the Constitution, they're gonna stand behind the Constitution. And then we have our military too. The military made, along with all the other branches of government, the legislative branch that's not holding up their part of the Constitution. They're letting it go all awry and giving up their power and all that. But the military, they also are supposed to hold up the Constitution. So I know that I have faith in them and know that they will too. So yeah, everything's going to be okay. It is going to be okay. It's crazy. Even though Trump doesn't know if he will hold up the Constitution or not, the Supreme Court will. So, you know, I know he did that interview and that's what he said during the interview, but believe me, the Supreme Court will hold up the Constitution. They will. Because if they don't, we don't even need a Supreme Court, right? And they'll be completely out of a job. And yeah, well, we are in a constitutional crisis for sure, but the Supreme Court will get us out of it. Hope y'all are going to have a wonderful day today, and I hope everybody's having nice weather. We're getting the rain that we need, and hopefully it won't be such a terribly hot summer so quickly. It's nice that it's raining. It was really dry here, so we need that. And I hope y'all are having a beautiful day. Thank you for letting me go on and on and on. Because I did. I had too much to say. That's what happens when I don't come on for a while. I've got too many things to tell y'all. So thanks for listening and letting me blather and talk on and on about hurting my behind and falling. Addie Cat is right here asleep on the bed. Let me see if I can show y'all. Let's see. Where are you, Addie Cat? There she is. She's always close by. Um, Anytime my husband's not feeling good, she'll come and lay on his chest. She will not lay on my chest. So we got home from Saturday night. We got home at midnight, and we had walked all that way. My husband's a sweater. He sweats and sweats and sweats. And we had brought water with us. I had a big old thing of water, and he was drinking water the whole time, but maybe not as much as he needed because he sweats so much. And it was cool outside at night. So if you're sweating, the breeze is blowing and you're not really feeling like you're sweating. He got up the next day and he didn't feel good. His heart was acting funky, and he said he could feel enhanced palpitations, but everything was okay as far as the readings, blood pressure, and he has that portable EKG machine. Everything was good. So, but he was feeling uncomfortable, and I think it was dehydration. And I told him, I think you're dehydrated. You need to drink a lot more water. And so he's stepped up his water intake, and he started feeling much, much better. And he drank water all through the evening yesterday, and this morning he's feeling a lot better. So, got to be really careful with people with heart problems, taking all kinds of medication. If you're going to be walking and doing exercises that you're not normally doing, you're going to be really tired, and you got to drink plenty of water. Got to be really careful with people with heart, problems. So he's doing okay. He's doing all right today, thank goodness. So I really appreciate all of you guys asking about him and being concerned about his health. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for your prayers. I know because of your prayers that he was okay. He was okay. Nothing was really wrong with him. So we don't even know what what happened. He went to his doctor. I went with him. That was Wednesday, the day before my birthday. We went to his doctor. She wanted to just check him out and make sure he was okay. And they had the CAT scan and all the blood tests and everything. And she's like, everything looks really good. Nobody knows what was wrong with him. Nobody knows. And he said he felt like a little weird sensation around his mouth and around his eye here. And it was his right, not his left, not where the heart was, but the other side, actually. And he said, my arm felt like it was tingling. So he thought he was going to have a stroke. He started freaking out. I think that I hadn't been paying a lot of attention to him, and I think it just escalated that he wanted a lot. So he wanted my attention, and he started not feeling good. He's a very stressful man, very, very stressful. He can make stress out of anything. That's the truth. He always has. And he felt something weird, and his mind just jumped to, I could be having a stroke, and he got all these sensations. You know, your mind can play tricks on you. If you tell your body something, it will answer you. Just like I was fixated on falling, I fell. So it's something I told him, you need to stop thinking about having a stroke and worrying about it. You're going to give yourself a damn stroke. Just like when you worry about a heart attack all the time, you give yourself a heart attack. This man, when I met him, he used to pretend that he was having a heart attack all the time. It's the big one. He would be like, Sanford and Son is like, if I'm having the big one, it's the big one. He used to do that all the time, all the time. He used to tell me he's going to have a heart attack. He would play dead, do all kinds of things, and then he had a heart attack. He'd never played like he had a heart attack again after he had a real heart attack, but he used to do it all the time. And I told him, you manifested that heart attack. And he doesn't believe me, but when I fell down and bruised my butt and my arm was sore the next day, and I said, my arm is real sore. And he said, well, you just need to manifest good health. He was trying to give me the business. And I told him, you know what? When I do healing sessions for you or anybody else, I do it with an open heart, with kindness and love. And I'm not trying to do it in a way to make fun of anybody or, I do it out of love. And that made him be quiet. Because I tell him all the time when he's not feeling good, you can manifest better health with changing your point of view. And I did do that. As soon as that happened, I did send healing to my body. And, I don't feel bad at all. I'm not hurting. Nothing got broken. I got some scrapes and some bruises, and I'm fine. I'm blessed, and I'm so well taken care of. I'm so grateful. So I think I was protected, and I do think my body did heal quickly. And yeah, there's some scrapes left behind and some bruises, but I'm not in pain. I'm not uncomfortable, and I don't have anything broken. So yeah, you can believe whatever you want, but I believe that healing actually works, and it does help. And you can take it, and it's like it's there for you. It's like an open book, or it's like walking through a healing doorway. You can walk through it and accept that, or you can not. It's up to you. I really believe that 100%. It's up to you. If you want to try and control your body through healing for yourself, you can, or you can just say, I got to go take a pill. I got to go to the doctor. And you can do everything hand in hand too. It does go hand in hand. It really does. My husband completely believes in his doctors, and I think that's probably helped him more than anything because he trusts his doctor so much. But I can tell you that the medication that he takes and has taken all his life have caused major side effects. Major side effects. And as a matter of fact, I 100% believe he's a diabetic because of the medication he's taking. And he wouldn't be. There's no diabetes in his family or anything at all. It's because of the cholesterol fighting medication that he's taken for so long, it messes up your metabolism. So yeah, I 100% believe that. Anyway, he doesn't believe that, but whatever. So he has to do whatever he believes no matter what. If whatever you believe in, if it's working for you, that's that's great. That's great. But if you'd like a healing session, I would be happy to give you a healing session. I'll pray for you, send healing to you. If you would like your chakras balanced and a longer version of a healing session, which takes me at least an hour to do. And then I record it after I do the healing session. If you'd like one of those, though I do charge for that. Or if you'd like to have a reading with me, I charge for that also. But look down below and I'll leave my email. If there's anything that you need, please contact me and we'll make it happen, okay? All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me rattle on and on. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.